Part of why the human species has been so successful on this planet is our ability to adapt. Think about the Inuit people in the frigid far north, and then, of course, the Tuareg tribes in the blazing heat of the Sahara. Unfortunately, most motorcycle owners also do the same thing. They just simply adapt themselves to their motorcycle when they buy it. I would argue that another reason why our species has been so successful is because we've also been able to adapt our environment to fit us. This is the basic premise behind ergonomics. Essentially, we are making things that fit us and work for us as opposed to us adapting to them. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today.
Photo adventures is on the road.
When I first threw my leg over the Tuareg 660 and took it for a test ride, I knew it was the right bike for me. And it's been an absolute blast, an amazing machine. I have never grinned so much as I did once I bought this motorcycle. It's been the most fun motorcycle I have ever owned. However, I am a fairly short or mid-size, 5'7" with a 30-inch inseam, and the tall suspension on this bike and the tall seat height, even though it's fairly low for its class, was still a little bit uncomfortable for me. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend that you take a look at our Alt-Rider variable height suspension linkage that we installed on this bike, which helped a tremendous amount.
If you are taller than average or shorter than average, you have got to get the Alt-Rider variable height suspension linkage for your Aprilia Tuareg 660. I got this and installed it the other day, and it is a game changer. I'm telling you, at 5'7" with a 30-inch inseam, this bike, the Aprilia Tuareg 660, now fits me like a glove.
It gave me a 3/4 inch lower suspension, which made my seat height much more fitted, if you will, to me. Now, that variable height suspension linkage also allows you to drop it even lower, but I didn't want to lose that much ground clearance. And that's one of the reasons why I purchased the Aprilia Tuareg Comfort Low seat. So I thought I would try Aprilia's Comfort seat. There are two versions of the Aprilia Comfort seat. One is just the normal height. The other is a little bit lower. It's about 3/4 inch lower, which is great for me being vertically challenged. With a 30-inch inseam, that gives me a couple extra millimeters to reach the ground with, so I'm not quite on my tippy toes. So in addition with the 3/4 inch length drop in my suspension, I've also dropped 3/4 lengths in the seat height from the original seat, which is great. That gives me a beautiful, totally fitted bike for me. I mean, it fits me like a glove now. The drop in the seat height gives me so much more confidence when I'm riding through sketchy surfaces like mud or sand. If I need to dab a foot, or when I come to a stop sign, for example, or a stoplight, and I want to put my foot down, I'm not tippy-toeing all the time. I feel much more planted and much more confident as a result of the lower seat height. While comfort is important, safety is even more so. That's why I keep the phone number of Rick Stewart at scmotolawyers.com in my phone. If you're ever in an accident or have a situation where you're in trouble, you want to be able to contact somebody who can help you out. Rick Stewart is one of us. He's a motorcycle rider. He knows the pains and the struggles that we go through. And I'm telling you, he's the one to call if you're ever in an accident. I'm going to put his information up on the screen real quick. Take a screen grab of it with your phone. That way you also have it in your phone if you're ever in trouble. The second reason why I purchased the Aprilia Comfort Low seat, which I've got here and I will showcase for you here in a minute, is because we did an 1,800-mile trip around Nova Scotia, which was an unbelievable adventure. At the time, I only had the OEM seat, and I found that the foam in the OEM seat was just a little bit soft. It's a great seat for if you're just a local rider, you go out for coffee with your friends, or you go for an hour's drive or something like that. It's a really, really comfortable seat compared to some other motorcycles that I've been on. However, after 90 minutes or so, you really start to feel a little bit of pressure in your backside. And the reason for that is because the foam in this seat is pretty soft. That's what gives it the comfort in the shorter distances, but over long distances, it completely compresses until you feel like you are sitting on the seat pan. You start to develop hot spots, you really start to move around a lot, you're trying to get comfortable and you just can't because you are literally sitting on the seat pan. That foam is just completely gone and compressed itself. So before our next big adventure, when Jason and I did the Panhandle Adventure Trail, I purchased the Aprilia Tuareg Comfort Low Seat. Now, I did a very short review of it on the trail, and I was pretty impressed with it. And I just wanted to do this follow-up video to basically affirm my original video and let you know that for longer distances, the Comfort Low Seat definitely wins. After 2-3 hours, I was still feeling okay on this seat. So the firmer foam in this seat definitely helps with the longer trips. You don't end up compressing it so far to where you're sitting on the seat pan. It does feel a lot stiffer when you first get on it. So for local riding just around town, after you've been on the original Tuareg seat, and you go and sit on this, it feels really firm. It's like, oh, that's not really very comfortable. But I'm telling you, after thousands of miles riding with the Comfort Low Seat, I leave this seat on all the time. Again, it's also a little bit shorter, so it saves me about 3/4 of an inch in my seat height, which I like. But from a comfort standpoint, it's also by far more comfortable than the OEM, in my opinion. Now let me jump on the bike real quick and just show you the difference in the seat height between the OEM and the Comfort Low Seat. Keeping in mind that I do have my Alt-Rider variable height suspension linkage dialed down 3/4 of an inch as well. So this is going to be a little bit lower than a stock bike anyway, but look at the difference in height. Just changing the seat saves you. As you can see, I'm basically kind of tiptoeing it at this point. It's not bad. Again, with the drop in the suspension linkage, it's great. But when I didn't have that suspension linkage lowered, I was literally just tiptoeing like this. Now, if we swap the OEM seat out for the Comfort Low Seat, you'll notice a pretty big difference. See how much more confident I can feel by having the balls of my feet on the ground as opposed to just tiptoeing it. Let me pull both seats out just so you have a good comparison between the two. Shows you the front view and the side profile. Very similar. The Comfort Low Seat does have a different material on it. Basically has kind of a suede finish to it on the very top, which is nice. And it's all black as opposed to having the accent color from the original bike. If you haven't seen it yet, I also want to mention that I always cover my motorcycle seats with a cool covers. I did a video about that. We'll link to it somewhere in this video. But the cool covers is a mesh cover that covers the seat, allows the water to wick off if you get caught in the rain and not pool in your crotch area. And it just gives a little bit extra comfort as well. So keep that in mind that I always have a cool covers cover on my seats. Now, the real reason why I wanted to do this review for you guys today is because I am literally leaving after recording this video to go visit our friends at Sargent Cycle Products. If you haven't seen it yet, we did a great little factory tour, behind the scenes tour of Sargent Cycle Products where they make custom seats for motorcycles. Plus, Jason has a complete custom seat, custom color, custom ribbing, all kinds of really neat features that he had installed on his Norden 901. We'll link to that as well. And that also came from Sargent Cycle Products. But we have an exciting announcement today, and that is that Sargent Cycle Products now has an easy way for you to order a custom seat for your Aprilia Tuareg 660. And I am taking my original seat pan down, giving that to them to do a custom seat for me. However, they have this brilliant system where in order to keep costs down, you have to send in your seat pan. So if you're not happy with your OEM seat, you just send in your seat pan and then they'll do a complete custom seat on that pan, which saves you a lot of money. And the beauty of their system is that it only takes a 48-hour turnaround time. So you take your seat pan off after doing some riding this weekend, you ship it down there, and you'll have it back before your ride next weekend. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I do the seat review of the brand new Sargent Cycle Products custom seat for the Aprilia Tuareg 660. I do hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please give us a big thumbs up, and I will see you in the next episode.
Moto Photo Adventures is on the